From the villages of Jammu and Kashmir to the coastal towns of Tamil Nadu, there's one banking network that quietly drives India's rural economy: the regional rural banks, or Gramin banks. They don't make headlines every day, but their work touches nearly every family that depends on agriculture, small businesses, or self-employment. As they cross major financial milestones and prepare for a new phase of reform, one question matters more than ever: what lies ahead for India's regional rural banks? To strengthen RRBs, the government and NABARD have launched several reforms. Under the One State, One RRB initiative, smaller banks have been merged to create stronger, technologically advanced institutions. Digitization has accelerated, with CBAs, UPI, micro-ATMs, and mobile banking now part of rural life. There's also discussion around allowing RRBs to raise capital through initial public offerings, potentially bringing in private investors. Supporters of privatization argue that market participation could bring fresh capital, modern governance, and faster technology adoption. They say this would reduce the need for government recapitalization and make RRBs more competitive. But critics, including employee unions and economists, warn that partial or full privatization could dilute the social mission that defines RRBs. Their concern is simple: private shareholders look for profits, not necessarily inclusion. If profit becomes the primary goal, RRBs might focus more on urban retail loans instead of small farmers or self-help groups. Studies from previous banking reforms show that when rural branches close or shift priorities, credit to small borrowers falls and informal lending rises. There's also concern about job security and local employment. RRBs hire from the same regions they serve, creating trust and community connection. While privatization is often hailed as a path to efficiency, selling off these banks is not just an economic transaction. It is a fundamental choice to abandon a vital social mission. This is the unacceptable trade-off at the heart of the debate. This debate is not about who owns the bank, but about what purpose the bank serves. RRBs were never meant to compete with big corporates. They were meant to empower small borrowers. The challenge is to modernize without losing that mission. Economists suggest a balanced path: partial reforms and digital transformation, while keeping the rural service mandate intact. That way, India can have both efficient banking and inclusive development. At the heart of every Gramin bank are its employees, local men and women who understand their communities deeply. They are not just bankers. They are educators, guides, and problem solvers. Their commitment has helped India reach every corner, even places where no other financial institution dared to go. Regional rural banks were created in 1975 under an Act of Parliament with a clear goal: to take banking to the last mile. Each RRB is jointly owned by the union government, the concerned state government, and a sponsor public sector bank. Together, they form a unique three-tier partnership, ensuring both social responsibility and financial strength. RRBs are India's bridge between urban finance and rural livelihood. The growth of Gramin banks is one of India's most underappreciated success stories. RRBs have exceeded 12 lakh crore rupees in total business, a milestone that reflects both rising deposits and record profitability. Across 28 regional rural banks, there are more than 22,000 branches and nearly 40 crore customers. This incredible reach makes them one of the most extensive banking systems in the country. Regional rural banks are not just for farmers. They're for everyone who lives outside the big cities. They finance self-help groups, small traders, micro-enterprises, and even support education and housing loans. RRBs also deliver government schemes such as PM Kisan, pensions, Magnrega wages, and financial inclusion programs like Jan Dhan Yojana. In short, they are the connective tissue of India's financial inclusion movement. But beneath the impressive numbers lie tough realities. Many Gramin banks face severe staff shortages, especially in rural branches where one officer may handle multiple roles, from loan verification to customer service. There are also concerns over delayed benefit revisions, pension disparities, and the slow pace of recruitment. These operational challenges impact service delivery and employee morale, even as the banks record strong financial performance. Yet, despite these hurdles, RRB employees continue to serve millions with dedication. India's economy is growing fast, and financial inclusion must grow with it. RRBs can play a key role, not just as rural banks, but as bridges connecting India's villages to its digital future. With the right policy support, modern technology, and fair treatment of employees, Grameen banks can become global examples of inclusive finance. Whether you live in a metro or a village, regional rural banks are part of India's shared financial backbone. Privatization, reform, digitization, these are complex words. But for millions of Indians, banking is not about policy, it's about trust. Regional rural banks built that trust, one customer at a time. As India modernizes its financial system, preserving that trust will be the real measure of progress. Share this video and stay tuned on Canal for exclusive coverage of the RRB and everything you need to know.